Pour it hot, pull it close. Sun's already on the porch. You've been working twice as hard for something you already got. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. Friends are coming through the door. Wheels are spinning on the floor. We don't know what we don't know. That's the only way to grow. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. What you're looking for is in your hand. Been there all along. Pour another cup and pull a chair. Sing along. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. Hey! Hey!
Good morning, HubSpot Nation. Welcome to another orange morning. It is June 5th, 2026, Friday, here with Casey Hawkins. How are you, Casey?
I am doing well. Yeah. Do you have any weekend plans, Chris? Does it depend on what we talk through on the updates today?
Certainly not. But next weekend, I am going to a not ultra, but like a 50K in San Antonio area that Isabel is doing, 50K run. That's at night. So I might use this weekend to mentally prepare for that in some way. But yeah, it'll be good to get out of town.
I thought anything over a marathon counted as an ultra.
Okay. Is that the rule? Because she's doing like 100-miler later in the year.
So it does. See, that's the problem. Once you get into those like big mileages, it gets like in this weird place where it's like, oh, it's just like when I marathon even after I marathon trained, like now, I'm still like, it's just a 10-miler. Like it's whatever. And so, like I think the bigger the number gets, the like more out of whack you kind of
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I remember back in 2013 when I started running, I used to think that like 3 miles or like a 5K was like a lot far or hard. And then it quickly became like, it's not a run unless it's
At
some
least.
distance, right? In that case,
Yeah.
it was 5K, but definitely hear what you're saying there. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. You were just on vacation, so I don't know if you have weekend plans to just recover from that, or you got more fun things planned.
My niece has a really big birthday party this weekend. My sister, every year for my niece's birthday, because it's like early June, it's like nice weather, a summer kickoff, my sister like has referred to it as, and she would rent a bounce house. Well, last fall, my sister found a bounce house for sale on Facebook Marketplace for like basically as much as they were spending to rent it each year. So my sister was like, I'll just buy one. It'll save us so much money. But what has happened is my sister is now spending the money that she would have spent on the bounce house on like, there's going to be a face painter. There's like a taco truck. They're going to be like shaving taco meat at this party.
Oh my gosh, I
It's,
want to go.
it's
These
kind
tacos are great.
of an intense party.
There's a special name for those tacos, right? I can't remember it, but those was like the pineapple and the shaving. Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
So
How old
I'll
is
be
this
at
human?
She's turning 6. She was a COVID
Oh,
baby.
right.
I
Celebrating
will
life.
we
I
got
like
the same taco truck last year. My husband and I picked it up though. They did not come this year because now we have all the bounce house money to spend apparently. They're
Oh
coming.
man.
But it was very good last year, but I will say like I don't think the kids are that into those tacos.
I know. I feel like there's some some projection happening, maybe.
I'm not complaining. I'm fine.
Right.
Luckily, my sister won't ever see this, but yeah. So that's the big plan for the weekend.
Yep. Speaking of bounce houses,
Sorry, really set you up for failure there.
the universal record pages in HubSpot made me want to jump up and down. All right, I'm done with that.
I don't know. You kind of made it.
What is it? Universal record page is a redesigned contact, company, deal, and ticket record experience that opens as a full screen overlay so you can view and work with records without leaving your current context or using multiple tabs.
Why does this matter? The current record page slows you down. It loads slowly, and the density of information pulls you away from what you were doing, leaving you with multiple tabs open, a lot of scrolling, and hard to find information. Universal Record Page is designed to change that. Records load significantly faster than today's record page. Opening a record keeps you anchored to where you started, close it, and you're still in the same place. A decluttered 2-column layout to make it easier to find and focus on the information you actually need. I definitely, oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of like lots of scrolling and hard
Boom. Nailed it.
Okay. You got us there. All right, I'm super excited about this. They've had this one in the pipe for a while. They had an admin hug over a year ago introducing this concept for the first time. And all I remember is everybody's feedback about how it looks like a social page and they don't like it. But then you think about like maybe social media has figured this out and like they know what they're doing, and maybe we could take some notes.
I just was talking to a HubSpot product manager, not for the CRM yesterday, and I specifically mentioned that I feel bad every time I talk to the CRM team because they'll show me stuff and I'm always like, I just don't like it. I don't know. Like it looks really scary.
Yeah, I can't wait until I'm let into this for sure.
But this looks less scary to me. I don't. So this is instead of like a normal record page, right? Like in theory, we would just do this instead, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I will say that's a little different than what I had in my head when I read Universal. I was envisioning something that like had the company and deal and stuff all like in one view a little more. Not to say that this is not beneficial, but it's just a little different than what I had in my head.
Right. Oh, like from the word universal.
From the worst universal.
Yeah. So it's still contact companies, deals, or tickets. It's still the record. Still the record types. Yeah, that's a good question for the team. What makes this universal?
What would you say to someone that spent a lot of time customizing their current CRM record views and feels a little scared about this? Not me, just someone.
Yeah. I mean, HubSpot's also introducing, and maybe this record does it, a way to manage views through the API and with help from AI and maybe with help from Breeze. So maybe we'll be in a place that we can ask Breeze to help set this up during this transition. I think the one thing that it's hard to see here, because they've got all activity, notes, emails, calls. Like hopefully that's obvious. That's where the tabs are going to be that we've been using. So I remember last year they showed like revenue and like all the tabs that we're currently seeing on a contact record. They're only showing catch up in this view. So, and I've heard people talk about how you can't add your UI extensions yet, but I would imagine it's basically the upper left, right? Like Taylor Swift and her name is now up, like really cleanly, finding a place for the data that should not change, like ever, or is very most unlikely to change, static. Like that needs a spot that just has a reference spot. It's not designed for like great editability because you shouldn't be changing it that often. And then getting that out of the way to make space. Because what I've been seeing is as we start to help people take advantage of the middle column, it's like, do we really need the left column anymore? Is that just going to confuse people? And like you start to build processes to make use of the left column, even though it doesn't, like, okay, so maybe this kind of data we put in the left column so that we can edit it, but it's also, we don't necessarily want people to edit it. It's like all middle column stuff. And so I think that's over in the key information, like card on the right. And
that's kind of what we have right here, right now.
Right. And, but ultimately getting to the 2-column layout, I think is the play.
I think maybe the part
as flexible as the middle column is now, and I'll be happy.
I think maybe the part I was confused about is, and like you said, it's because there's only a catch-up tab right now. But I think in theory, like we've created some like custom scoring tabs. It could be wrong, but I'm thinking like that would be next to catch-up here.
Right.
So any of those customizations aren't going away.
Yeah. And they made it easier to get to the individual activities of notes, emails, calls, which I have found, it is kind of annoying to have to click into activity and then notes to find all the notes. I think a lot of people, now that notes is kind of a first-class object, are starting to leverage notes as a great way to structure unstructured data. So making that more accessible, and all these activities themselves are much more configurable in terms of making sure that they're associated to things. Like there's a whole new settings area for all the different activity types. So
Okay, now that I actually know what this is, I am even more upset that this didn't have a major updates tag.
yeah,
Like I know it's in private
can
beta
we?
right now,
Yeah, we
but
need to have somebody on. Like, can we just get clear on major update tags?
like
Like,
this is a major like
it's huge.
this is going to affect like everyone that uses HubSpot goes to record pages at some point.
Yep. So let's have a class. Major update training needed for the team. So yeah, very excited for this. Looking forward to getting into the beta, and once we do, we will be showing you more of it. This one next to it, Epic app for medical records. So in development, so forward-looking statement at the top. What is it? HubSpot now offers a native, or will offer, a native app connection with Epic, one of the most widely used, I'd say the most widely used electronic medical record system. Customs working with health data can sync records from Epic directly into HubSpot, where they map automatically to contacts, appointments, and sensitive data properties in real time.
Why does this one matter? For customers managing health information, getting that data into HubSpot has required manual work or custom workarounds. Until this app made it straightforward. HubSpot already supports storing sensitive data. This connection closes the remaining gap, bringing health records in from one of the most commonly used systems our customers rely on without friction. I did get distracted trying to remember what the biggest competitor to Epic is, which is Cerner, which I also found apparently 80% of hospitals use Epic. So
Yeah.
Cerner is
Yeah, it's yeah, I won't use that analogy. But I wanted to highlight this because here's what syncs: built for sensitive data, right? Special categories of data under GDPR, such as race or religion, health data, including electronic protected health information for both HIPAA covered and non-covered entities. So, like, taking a step back and why everybody should care about this, all of the questions about HubSpot security, HubSpot, like, sensitive information protection, like, can you do it? There's no way they could accomplish this integration with the most widely used app in the healthcare system if they did not have their shit together. Okay, so if HubSpot can complete this integration, like, trust it, trust the architecture, the infrastructure, the auditability, all the things that you're worried about when it comes to data compliance for security, IT, healthcare, like all of the different places. Like, we can take care of that in HubSpot now, and if you let us, a lot of frontline teams are gonna rejoice using a system actually designed for customer care, especially in the healthcare. This one's a little closer to me because Isabel had to work in this system for a little while, and yeah, it's not, when you're trying to focus on patient care, like the software that you have to use to make sure the patients are taken care of, it should be easier to use.
Yeah, actually, just this week. So, Chris, you talk a lot about like customer portals, and like there's been some updates. Just on Wednesday, when we were talking to Zach, we were talking about the customer agent can now like find invoices and stuff like that. And because I've always sat on the marketing side, sometimes it's hard for me to like envision implementations of things like that. Like I am often like, why would we need that in a way? But just this week, I was trying to look at an previous invoice from one of my healthcare providers, and they have a portal, and I was like, oh, this is like, I don't know what they're using, probably not HubSpot, but this is like a perfect use case, and having Epic, is probably in HubSpot is probably a blocker for many people that could leverage, the other things, ways HubSpot is helping orgs. Period.
Indeed. Let's go to actionable search results with Breeze Assistant. What is it? Breeze Assistant can now appear directly within global search results for contacts based on the available context for the top search result. Breeze may generate a short summary and display suggested actions that help users quickly continue their workflow. Selecting a suggested action opens Breeze Assistant with a pre-filled prompt to help users complete the task faster.
Why does it matter? Today, global search helps users find records quickly, but users still need to open the record, review recent activity, and decide what to do next before taking action. This adds extra steps and slows down common workflows. Actionable search results with Breeze Assistant helps users move faster by surfacing relevant summaries and suggested actions directly within search results, making it easier to continue common workflows from a single place. I ran into this yesterday in a portal. And I was like, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, put it everywhere. Put it everywhere, HubSpot. Like, this is exactly how I need to be supporting users. I need to go do a thing. I'm going to take an action. And when I find the information I need, help me take the next action by talking to Breeze about it. Like, it's coming up everywhere across the system, like, because create these scenarios where it's like, okay, great, we've got all this context in the search results now.
Mm-hmm.
Do people know what to do when they see the context, right? Mm-hmm. This is where admins like do so much work to design a system where like all the information you need is right there, team. But then you click the button and it takes you into the contact record, and that whole like that thing that happens like when you open a door and go into the next room, you got to remember what happened, and you don't. You're like, what was I trying to do again? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. That is real. Definitely real for me. So
every day, all the time.
Right? So what happens is like, this opens up Breeze, and you don't lose that context, and we're ready to jump into a conversation. And these are the kinds of things that get unlocked with the Breeze updates, where you can send an email from there, mm-hmm. right? Instead of clicking the button and then taking you into the contract record and starting with a blank slate email, like you're ready to have a conversation with Breeze. And if you do have the conversation, you can send the email right from there. It's this is where HubSpot usage is going.
And like, this is a good example, obviously. Like, Quinn emailed you yesterday and asked for a timeline and next steps. Like, this is a really good example. But I'm curious to see like how it will work with across the board a little more broadly. But you were just mentioning in the universal view, like it's hard to get to tasks or emails or meetings, like you have to go into all activities and then filter down. Like this makes it just so much easier to very quickly know what is important on a record recently.
Indeed. As long as you get that data into HubSpot.
Because I was going to say Taylor Swift probably has nothing because unfortunately she hasn't. Unfortunately, we have no recent activity together.
Yeah. I was testing mine a little bit here too. This is another reason to like start having those conversations with Breeze, because it's going to learn how you work, going to learn the portal, and it'll start bringing that understanding and that context into those moments like mid workflow.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So very cool to see here. I've got a selfish one that I look forward to talking to Oaks about it on Monday. Better meeting reporting is coming. What you may need to do. This is in development, expected July 31st, 2026. What is it? Starting July 31st, 2026, HubSpot is simplifying how meetings recorded via Note Taker, Zoom, Google Meet, and Microsoft Teams are logged.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to read here. Maybe all of it.
Let's just talk through it, I think, because out of the gate, so today when meetings are recorded with Note Taker or video conferencing integrations, they create both a call record and a meeting record.
Which is part of my ongoing complaints around, like, I don't understand what the difference between calls and meetings are.
Right. So maybe this is a short conversation because the next line, call objects will still exist for actual calling activity. This change only affects recorded meetings. So they will only create a meeting record now, which is like, yeah, I look forward to this.
Yeah.
So does AI, by the way, because now AI won't get confused when we're looking for information in HubSpot about the meeting we just had.
Yeah. So now calls will be phone calls and meetings will be like video calls, recorded calls. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to work on the word call and the word meeting.
That's why I started like whispering. I was like, I don't know.
I don't know if I want to finish this thought process out loud. Oh, words. HubSpot words.
I do think it's worth calling out some of like what it means for you. Specifically, a lot of this is if you're using call-based properties, call-based anything, reports, workflows, whatever, those may need to be switched to like meeting-based properties or adjusted. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
I've got Breeze working on a checklist for people related to this update right now that will show in a bit.
And then this is a good call out, like if you opt into the meetings workflow beta. Interestingly, I was working on a project just last night where I needed the meetings workflow, and I was very happy that this beta was an open beta and not a private beta, so I could do it. But if previously there may have been limitations with automation and workflows and meetings, so a lot of those barriers are coming down.
The beta has been out for a while too, so don't if this is interesting for you, jump in. Created some meetings workflows myself, and it works. Let me calm down a little bit. It hasn't been the easiest because of the way meetings update So it's been hard for me to figure out like how to best filter workflow triggers as it relates to meetings. So yeah, but get in there. Everybody has meetings, and you should all be tracking them transcript wise, recording wise. So this is a good to see HubSpot moving in this direction.
And I'm personally excited about this as someone that has been very confused for a while.
Yep. All right. Let me just show this update or this visual. We'll do our breeze. Will it breeze for today? Because we've got. So I strongly encourage anybody that wants to stay up to date with HubSpot to start just copy pasting the updates that you're interested in into Breeze and saying something like, how will this impact us? Should we use it? What do you think about this update? Anything. If you're at a loss of how to start communicating with Breeze or how to start like learning how it works, I think this is a good opportunity for every single HubSpot portal in existence. So Bree said, yes, this is a meaningful change if you use recorded meetings in automation or reporting. Breaks it down for me. Best pre-launch action plan, audit workflows, reports, rebuild, train the team. And then it offered, do you want a migration checklist? And I said, yes, please.
I like that you said very attractive visual, like not like let's.
I'm trying to like, this is a little bit better. Again, like, I don't know. I must have brand settings somewhere that ask for like boring visuals. But yeah, value first is focused on the word on the page instead. So this is the kind of thing like I mention every time where if you like this idea, but you know there's going to be impacts to others on the team, it's like, hey, how can we communicate this to others? So here is an easy timeline visual. New meeting properties may already appear. And what to do now, what to finish later. Important reporting note, if your dashboard currently treats recording meetings as calls, your call activity numbers will look lower after launch. So that's the exact kind of thing that's going to creep up on some people. And if you don't get ahead of this, all of a sudden people that might be measured on call volume, be like, what the heck, Casey? Why aren't you hitting your call numbers this month? And then this is the fun part. Then everybody realizes, oh, we've been double counting for a long time. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, and we'll just leave that as it is. Yeah.
Is this, and I don't know if you might not know the answer. As I read this, though, today meetings recorded with note taker, video conferencing integration, Zoom, Microsoft, Google Meet create both call record and meeting records. So this is this only relevant if you're using HubSpot's meeting recorder, or is it if you're using any of those integrations, regardless of the...
Yeah, any of the integrations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which you probably are.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I look forward to digging in a little bit more and maybe talking about those double count moments with Oaks on Monday, our resident meetings expert. All right, there's one more that you mentioned that was interesting, which I wholeheartedly agree with. Pipeline rules for contacts and company. What? Pipelines for contacts and companies? What's that? You can now set up pipeline rules for contact and company lifecycle stages, similar to the rules available for deals, tickets, leads, and custom objects. Note, as part of this feature, we are also releasing a general enhancement to the limit creation to specific stages pipeline rule for all object types with pipelines. Wow. Admins can now also specify the default pipeline stage an object should be created in. That is wonderful.
Why does this matter? Pipeline rules help you maintain data quality by setting guardrails for how contacts and companies move through lifecycle stages. This ensures more accurate conversion rates and reporting by preventing records from skipping critical stages or being created in inappropriate lifecycle phases. So, so the reason I saw this in a portal just yesterday, and I was out, so I was like, oh, that's new, or but I didn't realize how new it was. The reason though I think this is interesting is most portals I work in, and admittedly that's probably because this is most of what I do, actually, in fact, is automate lifecycle stages. So most portals I work in, when a deal is created, then the lifecycle stage is updated to opportunity. That's like the easiest one. So it's interesting to me to see how this works, because if there's automation running, usually, not always, but usually that kind of gets around any of the rules that you have in place. So I'm just kind of curious how the governance of this will be in practice. But actually, I thought you, Chris, would be more interested in this because you're a little more into people manually updating these life cycle stages.
Manually updating. I am into people making sure that they're in the right stages through various means. Usually we're trying to tie any other automation to either property fulfillment or activity fulfillment or engagement that then pushes the stage in the right, pushes a pipeline to the right stage. Or the team can review all the data and then they make the choice to move it to the next stage because so much context is required, like should be required and is required. And we've tried to use scoring and all these other ways to kind of do it for us. And in reality, there's always some missing context there. So yeah, like back to the universal record concept, it's like, can we just create these spaces where everybody has the visibility they need and then can participate in the data maintenance process that says, all right, this is the right stage, for this person to be in. I think this is super interesting. Restrict friends from skipping stages. And if you haven't realized, I've renamed my contact. It's friends in this portal. This rule will not apply when moving a friend to a closed stage. So we have closed stages for friends now. Do we? No.
Also, can you go to pipeline rules? So you didn't touch anything, right?
Correct.
So restrict friends from moving backwards is turned off, which only stresses me out because that's not how it works without this setting. And I just set up a workflow yesterday with the assumption that that people couldn't move backwards, that friends couldn't move backwards in their life cycle stages. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I just need to turn that on, but like a little scary to think this beta gets unlocked and then
People can't go. It's not default that they can't go backwards, is it?
It is. Life cycle stage is more forward by default. I have a whole visual on this, on how like they're designed to be like college degrees. And sure, you could get your master's degree and then you could go back to get another associate's or study something else. But then that doesn't take away your master's degree. Like, that's where you've like reached. So that is
right.
Yeah.
But the system stops you
from.
Okay.
The workaround, it's not a bad it's an easy workaround, but the workaround is you just clear the life cycle stage and then you set it to wherever you want it. But yeah, the system won't let you by default.
Okay.
Until I guess you turn this on though, which is a little.
Right. Yeah, so there's some work to do here, folks. And this kind of highlights how challenging this is. The reason I was excited about it, like, is the like outside of life cycle stages, you can now create like Kanban boards for contacts and companies based on, the various other statuses that you might have on those records, and starting to think in pipelines for contacts and companies, and like how you want to move those relationships forward in various ways doesn't always make sense as a life cycle stage, because once they are doing, like you say, once they've advanced so far, your relationship with them should not go back in the other direction, because it's like, this is where, like, the reality of the relationship with that human or that organization is that at some point in time, this is how far we got with them. But yeah, this is a powerful precedent to set. Just everybody take care from like trying to use these kinds of restrictions, like skipping stages, for example. If it doesn't, like, don't do it for your RevOps reporting, please. That cannot be the only reason. Like, humans jump across the journey all the time. And if I just met you yesterday and I buy from you 5 minutes later, that means there are things happening outside of the system that you didn't catch. So no, you don't get to pass me through all of your stages if I did not go through those. If I did not go through those stages, and you didn't know about it, right? Like, it's the hardest part for like the marketing story, in my opinion, is like, yeah, obviously marketing was working, but if we don't fix the system to receive that data, like, there is no value in showing that I went through those stages, because you're just manufacturing like time between stages. And like, if I come in right as a hand raiser, you don't get to show that I was a lead at some point, because you have no idea like when that was. So just take care. Like, everybody needs help, I think, with this kind of, management of contacts and companies. And this is a step in the right direction. But just don't, make sure it doesn't impact your team and the way that you report on things, just to kind of make this stuff, work for you. All right. We're already at time today. Looking forward
did
to
it breezed with the how to use updates, right?
Yes. And that actually, reminds me before I open this up. I asked Breeze to help with this. Should we leverage this? And it suggests to start with companies first, if company lifecycle is your source of truth. Right. Bottom line, yes, leverage if your goal is cleaner lifecycle governance and more trustworthy reporting. No, don't rush it if your lifecycle design is still fluid or heavily automation driven. There you go. Catch
And the
us.
champion of the month is here. HubSpot Community Champion of the Month.
Robin is champion of the month.
She is.
That is awesome. Congrats on that, Robin. Thanks for joining us today. Maybe you can join us in a little bit too when we talk to George B. Thomas with the weekly updates show.
Nailed it.
Yeah, looking forward to that. It's been a couple weeks since we last got with George on that. So join us then, and everybody have a great rest of your Friday.